Life often presents tests that can reveal areas for personal growth. Even without strong religious beliefs, you can build a meaningful connection with a higher power. This could be God, the universe, or another concept you resonate with. Here are 5 tests you might face before experiencing a breakthrough. The first is the test of sacrifice. Imagine waiting years for something you deeply desire, only to be asked to give it up. This mirrors the biblical story of Abraham, who was willing to sacrifice his long-awaited son. His faith and obedience led to great blessings. Life sometimes challenges us to prove where we stand. It asks if we can trust and listen, even when it's difficult. Spiritual challenges often arise as tough situations that test our faith. Maintaining belief during painful times can be challenging. You might question why your heart is breaking if God is present. It may feel like you've been abandoned, but there's often a purpose behind the pain. Some believe that hardships strengthen faith and build resilience. The things you've lost might be material possessions that weren't contributing to your growth. Perhaps you've had to leave a relationship or job to pursue your true calling. Sacrificing a stable job for your passion is a significant step. It means giving up security and regular income for an uncertain path. This test of sacrifice involves letting go of the familiar to embrace your authentic purpose. Is your focus more on people or God? What does your heart truly value? Have you given too much to your career? Is your job keeping you from spending time with God? Do you grasp the world you're part of? Do you read religious texts? Does the music you listen to lift you up or bring you down? How often do you talk to God? Is your faith strong, or are fears taking over? Are you constantly worried about the future? Do your thoughts make you anxious about what's coming? How does turning away from God affect your heart and mind? Maybe it's time to reconsider your faith and openness to listen. Your faith might be tested if you have a special purpose in life. You might need to give up things you've put too much importance on. This test checks if God is your top priority and if you can trust Him. It's about what's truly in your heart. Being on a spiritual path often means facing tough times. The real challenge is keeping faith when everything seems to fall apart and fear takes over. It's about trusting God will rescue you even when you can't feel His presence. Can you believe God loves you and won't leave you, even when things look bleak? Holding on to faith can be hard, especially when you see everything crumbling around you. Believing in something you can't see is tough. Faith is like a bridge connecting us to God. When our world seems to fall apart, our faith gets a real test. This test also looks at your bond with God, and in turn it tests your entire life. The test of faith isn't pointless. It's there to remind you of God's power. Like in the Bible story where God saved Isaac from his father Abraham, faith can lead to unexpected outcomes. Obedience tests our faith in God. These trials reveal how tightly we hold on to our beliefs. The idea is that if we keep our faith, God will keep us close. These challenges help us gauge the strength of our faith. Many of us only pray when we're in trouble or feeling lonely. This shows how far we've drifted from our spiritual path. When our hearts ache, it's like being pruned. This process helps us grow deeper roots. God looks into our hearts to find weak spots. He cuts away the broken or dying pieces. This process is difficult and demands trust. We must believe that what's removed will be replaced by something better. These challenges are meant to strengthen us, not break us. It's about understanding that hardships can lead to growth and renewal. Humility is another significant test on our spiritual journey. It's about being modest and recognizing our own limitations. In a world of show-offs, humility can be challenging. True humility isn't self-deprecation. It's understanding our value without needing to prove it. It's accepting that we don't have all the answers. We can learn from others regardless of who they are. Life often tests our pride. We may need to step back and let others shine. Sometimes we must admit when we're wrong. I've faced this test myself. There were times when I thought I knew everything. I didn't listen to others and believed I was always right. Life showed me otherwise. I had to learn to listen more and speak less. Humility is about letting go of your ego and being okay with not being the center of attention. It's learning to be grateful for what you have and not always wanting more. Humility means being able to say, "I don't know," or "I was wrong," without feeling ashamed. It's understanding that everyone, including yourself, has flaws, and that's perfectly normal. This test can be challenging because our society often values being loud, right, and in the spotlight. However, humility teaches us to appreciate quiet strength, the power of listening, and the beauty of being part of a respectful community. Being patient is really difficult, especially in today's world, where we can get almost anything quickly. Learning to wait can be tough when we're used to instant gratification. I personally struggle with patience, always wanting things to happen on my schedule. But I've learned that things don't always work that way. Many of my challenges have involved waiting for things I really want. It seems like life wants to teach me patience by making me slow down. For example, after ending a bad relationship, you might pray for a better one. You feel you've waited long enough and don't want to wait anymore. But impatience can make the things you want most seem even further away. The more desperately you want something, the more it slips away. Waiting can feel like torture, and I've failed at being patient many times. The good news is, we can always try again. If you fail a test, you keep facing it until you pass. Now I understand that I'm being made to wait, so I can learn to understand and love myself first. How can anyone else love you if you don't love yourself? God doesn't test us to hurt or punish us. He tests us to show His power and our own strength. He wants us to share our stories of overcoming challenges with others. Knowing this doesn't make waiting easier, but it helps to understand that great things come to those who are patient. Don't let impatience make you give up too soon. You never know when what you're waiting for is about to happen. Waiting becomes more manageable when you learn to be calm and understand how the world works. It's about finding peace and not always feeling the need to be doing something. It gets easier when you can control your thoughts, desires, and emotions. The test of purpose and integrity is about staying true to who you are and what you believe in, even when it's difficult. It's about understanding your purpose and not straying from it, no matter what temptations or challenges you face. This test comes in many forms. It could be a lucrative job offer that goes against your values, or pressure from others to behave in a way that's not true to yourself. Understanding my purpose has been a process. I've been tempted to take the easier path, to do things that might have brought immediate success, but wouldn't have been true to my calling. This test is about being honest with yourself and others. It's about making choices that align with your deepest values and beliefs. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It's about being consistent in your actions and words. The test of purpose and integrity asks us, are you living in a way that's true to your spiritual path? Are your actions in line with your beliefs? Are you being honest and authentic, or are you wearing masks to please others? This test isn't just about major life decisions. It's also about the small choices we make daily. Our true character shines through these small choices. The test challenges us to be authentic, follow our path bravely, and live with honesty. It's about staying true to ourselves in every situation. This helps us build a life of integrity and purpose. Remember, it's the small actions that shape who we are.